Hey guys, welcome back. January, February 2026 has seen so many new drugstore launches. It's quite astonishing, and we've got some new launches from NYX as well that I really want to try out. Doesn't seem like the drugstore is slowing down at the moment, but the beginning of 2026 has been pretty interesting. Like, the drugstore went full ham with releases, and we're just seeing new formulas. Well, not new formulas, but very innovative formulas, or formulas that have not been brought back for a very long time, aka things like lip stains, which was something very prevalent 10 years ago, but it isn't so much till this year, last year, this year. We're seeing mousse blush formulas and a lot of different formulas. NYX has launched some products as well, mainly being their foundation, and this is the NYX Make 'em Wonder Soft Matte Foundation. Now, in the era where a glowy base is having a moment, it's kind of risky to launch a soft matte foundation, but regardless, I'm very curious to try this out. Tap bottom before use. Okay, giving it a good shake. It says tap bottom before use. Does that mean this or this way? I'm not sure. Okay, we've tapped both sides. I picked up the shade 17 Medium Olive, and this was based on pictures of models online. I did pick it up in Superdrug, like physically, and I thought, I think that's going to be too light. But then I was looking online at the pictures of the models, and it looked like this would be a good match. So I'm not sure. I've pumped some out on the back of my hand. I feel like hopefully this will oxidize, and that's why the model looked darker in the pictures. But anyway, let's give it a go. I've only moisturized, which is the way I like to test out foundations. Oh, okay, yeah, I think this is not the right shade for me. I'm gonna have to go in and get a darker shade. Oh no! Okay, that is pasty. But I was so happy to see the fact that there was finally an olive shade in the drugstore. Okay. Sad times. I'm going to do half my face, and then I'll show you a side-by-side comparison. Okay, it's definitely soft matte. Oh god, okay. I look horrible. Okay, I mean, it just says buildable foundation. Doesn't really mention what coverage level it's supposed to be, nothing like that. But yeah, this is definitely not my shade, and I don't know why the model looked way darker in the online pictures. She pretty much looked my shade, and this is not my shade. Anyway, let me try and assess the finish without being too hung up or strung up about the shade match. It's definitely a matte foundation. Like, there is very minimal glow, and I feel like as it's drying down, yeah, it's looking more and more kind of matte as it's sinking into the skin. Correct on the claims. It says buildable, but I don't know what coverage level it means, so that's a little hard to assess. But anyway, we're going to finish up the other half, and I'm going to look like a white pasty ghost. I really like the packaging though. It's a squeeze tube, so very easy to kind of travel with and carry around and use. Oh my word, this is not my shade. I should have just trusted my gut instinct and gone up a shade, because this is looking so pasty. What in the heck? Let me see if I can find the picture of the model, because the model did not look this colour unless I was feeling colourblind on the day or something. I do really like the finish though. I'm just hoping that it's going to oxidise magically at some point, but I don't think it is. This is the model they have for Medium Olive. Look, this. I'm going to screenshot this and include this in the video, because does she look like Medium Olive? How is she Medium Olive? And this shade is definitely not Medium Olive. What? Okay, I am so confused by this shade match because it is so off. Yeah, I'm going to have to get another shade in this foundation. I was hoping that maybe at some point it would oxidize, but I don't think it is. I still look very pale and ghostly. I'm just applying my bronzer, but as I'm applying my bronzer, I'm looking at the foundation, and I think maybe possibly a very little bit of oxidization is happening, but not quite enough to match my shade. So that's going to be problematic, trying to figure out your shade in this line. But I am gonna basically try and bronzer the hell up out of my face to help my ghostly looking complexion right now. Right guys, I've had to like seriously bronzer up, and I've applied blush and everything as well, and a bit of concealer. I'm looking at the complexion and it looks the formula actually looks really good. It definitely is soft matte. And given the fact that I applied this directly on top of a moisturizer, and given the fact that I have dry skin, it's not grabbing onto dry patches. It's not weirdly like sinking into my pores or anything, and it looks like I've powdered down, but I haven't. So far I'm actually liking the look of this, and I feel like if I am to wear this, I wouldn't have to powder down. Maybe just carry a touch-up powder with me to help me throughout the day if I do get a little bit more greasy or oily. You know what? Just for the sake of trying a new foundation and trying this foundation, let me go in with some pressed powder just on like one side to see if it makes much of a difference. We'll do this side. Does that make me look dry? I don't think it is. Wow, it just makes me look more airbrushed, and I'm really hoping this foundation wears well, because wow, I've just applied. Can you see that? It just looks like I've been more airbrushed. Okay, I'm quite liking the formula of this, which is quite interesting for me to say, given that, you know, the trend recently, especially recently, has been more like glowy products and, you know, not really matte. But this, adding the pressed powder on top, just gives me that oomph of like airbrushness, and I'm really liking the look of that. Okay, I think I will definitely go and get another shade, or find another shade that will hopefully work better for me, or find a darker shade that I can mix with this one to hopefully get it to work. But it's such a shame that the formula is so good but the shade has thrown me off. But yeah, I'm so far, just based on the formula, so far I'm liking the formula. Anyway, let's try and move on to the next thing from NYX. We've got the Buttermelt sticks, and I've seen quite a few reviews and a lot of people have said good things about this. I got mine, it was quite tricky to pick a shade actually, but I got mine in the shade A Whole Melt. Can you see that? Like a twist up rolly style kind of product. Let's swatch that on the back of my hand. Oh, very glidey. Ooh, and I think I've just nubbed off a whole chunk there on that swatch. Oh yeah, you can see at the top there. But if I blend that out, okay, very highlighty. It doesn't feel sticky, feels creamy, feels like it will melt in pretty well. I've just realised I've applied powder blush and powder bronzer. I don't know how this is going to sit on top, but we'll give it a go. So I'm going to just pick some up on the brush, and then we're going to pat that in and see how that goes. Like I said, I did use powder, blush and bronzer, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Hopefully it doesn't like break up the powder. Ooh, can you guys see the glow that's adding? I mean, this is a pretty matte foundation, and yeah, there's definite glow there, right? Doesn't look like it's breaking up the base, even though it's a cream formula. I'm just gonna add a tad bit more and see. A little under the brow bone. Okay. Ooh, I really like it. The drugstore formulas have been so good this year. Beginning of the year is when drugstores really go all out, and then the releases get a little slower throughout the year, but that is stunning. And I'm glad I did actually pick this shade, because I was a little confused at which shade to go for, but I do feel like that melts into my skin tone really well. Let's go in on the other side. Yeah, that looks good. Oof. That looks good. Complete level up in formulas at the drugstore, honestly. I mean, NYX has always had pretty good formulas. They've always been like the drugstore brand that you can't really fault. So stoked about this. And it doesn't feel like sticky. It doesn't look like it's breaking up my foundation or powder. That's incredible. Next up, I have the Epic Inky Sticks Cream Gel Liner. These are new eyeliners from NYX, and I've got the shade Ember Energy. It's like a brown shade, and I am really curious to try this out because I've heard that it's like a long wear, well, it's meant to be a long wear gel, and it says waterproof on there, liner. And let's have a look. Are there any claims on here? Precise slanted tip, intense ink-like colour, one stroke payoff, ultra creamy formula. Okay, there it is. Oh, is it a click up thing? Oh, that is much thinner than I thought for some reason. Like on the packaging, it looks a lot bigger. I was expecting something a bit bigger, I think. This is a click up thing. I'm not keen on these click up style applicators, because often it means you can't click them, push them back down. Let's give that a go. Ooh. that was a very simple glide. Okay, I'm going to give that a moment to dry down, and then we're going to see if that smudges or rubs off in a second. I want to use this to tightline my upper waterline and then do a little smudgy, very small liner situation. The main thing I want to know is whether this transfers if I put this on my waterline. So, okay, that's one eye done. Okay, that's a waterline done. Just going to do the top eyelid now. I like how thin this is. Also, I've got mascara on already, guys, so this would have probably been a little easier if I didn't have the mascara on first, but I don't know. There might be some of you who like to do liner after mascara. I like how thin this is. Like, I feel like it's really allowing me to like get as close to the lash line as possible. I haven't done anything winged in a while. So this is yeah, I'm trying my best. Okay, we're just going to do a bit of cleanup with my concealer brush. What I'm going to do is apply a little to my lower lash line and see if I can smudge it out. I think I can see some transfer though. Can you see that on my lower waterline? That what I put in the upper waterline did transfer. So I don't think this is quite transfer proof, but just pop a little bit on my lower lash line and then see if we can smudge it out. Does it have some smudging time? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it definitely does. Just going to clean up a little bit with the concealer brush here. Yeah, okay. Okay, there it is. We have a little liner look. I definitely think you've got some wiggle room and some smudging time. Right, I hope this has had time to dry down now. It does smudge. I don't think it's completely budge proof. So that is a shame. It also did transfer to my lower waterline. I don't think it's quite transfer resistant or budge proof, but I do like the ease of it, the thinness of it, the applicator, although it is a click stick, which is a bit annoying because you have to make sure you're pushing out just about enough product so that you don't damage things when you close the cap back on. So I'm not a big fan of this kind of style of applicators, but it definitely is smudgy. You can smudge it, you can, yeah, smudge the lower line. Like, very nice, precise application is possible with this. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Ultra creamy formula. To be fair, it doesn't say it is bud proof, it just says waterproof. Maybe that's a thing in my head that if it says waterproof, it should be budge proof, but then not necessarily. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Right, I've picked up 2 shades of the NYX Lip Lingerie lip stains. These have been having a moment on TikTok, on Instagram, and I want to see what all the hype is about. So I picked up 2 shades. One is called Wild Side, which is a very interesting grey, cool toned shade, and then I've got the other shade is Up to No Good, which is also a cool toned brown. So I don't know what the best way to do this is because it is a lip stain. Right, I'm gonna swatch them. Let's swatch Wild Side first. So like I said, this is an interesting shade. It's like a grey. This is Wild Side swatched, and yeah, it's looking like a very cool toned grey sort of a colour. And then I've got the shade Up to No Good here, and that is looking like, so it's definitely more brown than Wild Side. I'm just thinking what's the best way to go about this, because they're both lip stains. I want to try them both out. Okay, let me just remove the foundation off my lips first. So I'm thinking let's do Wild Side on the bottom lip and then Up to No Good on the top lip. Or should it be the other way around? No, I think that's the right way around. Okay, so let's go in with Wild Side first because that's the one that I'm the most curious about. Oh, very inky. And dark. Oh, okay. Okay, can I blend that out a bit? Okay. Okay, that is Wild Side. That is very dark. If you're one of those people that have very like pigmented lips and you struggle to find a dark enough liner, look no further. So this applicator has like a ball tip on it, and I do feel like that helps you to be pretty precise. Actually stained my finger and it's looking a bit greeny. Okay, right, let's do Up to No Good on the top lip then. I feel like there is a bit of a learning curve with the ball tip. Okay. I feel like if you want to blend it out, you kind of have to go in straight away, because if you leave it longer than like 10 seconds, it's gonna sink in and dry down. Right, so we've got Wild Side on the bottom lip and Up to No Good on the top one. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm glad I got the Up to No Good shade, the brown one, because initially I had just picked up Wild Side, and although I think it could work for some lip looks, I think it's only going to work for a very limited number of lip looks, in terms of if I've got a very dark shade and I really want like that precise lip line, that's when I will go in with this dark of a grey toned shade. But otherwise, like the top one, Up to No Good, I can use that on a more regular base. So otherwise, but a shade like Up to No Good, like this cool tone brown, I'll definitely be using that more regularly. I think it's not as limited or restricted because of the shade. So I'm glad I picked up both. I think I'll definitely be finding uses for this, but I am glad that I got the Up to No Good shade as well. So here we are. Now, this isn't a new release, but I got this on clearance. This is the NYX This Is Milky Gloss. I think they're phasing this out because it's now been replaced by the Jelly Job gloss or something like that. Didn't pick one of those up, but this was on clearance and love the shade. It is a lilac, looks more lavender to me in the tube, but it's called Lilac Splash. So that is what it looks like. I would say that is definitely more lavender than lilac, but anyway, let's go in with this gloss on top and see how the lip liner looks with something on top. Oh, smells nice. Yeah, definitely adding a purple hue definitely makes the lip stain liners look a little softer. I want to clean the tip before I put that back in. Yeah, I'm glad I found this on clearance, because I feel like I'll be getting a lot of use out of this and the shade. So that's the This Is Milky Gloss in the shade Lilac Splash. And that's that, guys. Right, guys, so that's the end of my trying with NYX's new releases, the new releases of 2026. It was definitely an eventful one, so keep your eyes peeled. I do have some more videos coming up of new drugstore makeup that's been released, and yeah, keep the releases coming. Drugstore, I am trying to be a little bit more limited about how much I buy this year, but if there's anything that intrigues me and interests me, I will definitely be picking it up. Please let me know if there's anything specific you guys want me to review. Like, leave it in my comments and I'll have a look and check out what you suggest and what you want to see reviewed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.